بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. On behalf of the school, we would like to welcome you to the Parents' Night. This is the first activity for the Parents' Night this year, and the theme for this year is the positive parenting. Will be conducted by Sheikh Abdul Salam. Sheikh Abdul Salam, he is accredited by Manitoba, in the province of Manitoba, and also University of Queensland in Australia. So he will help us to learn about how we can do effective communication between parents and kids, and also positive parenting. So I will give the floor to Sheikh Abdul Salam to start.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. With the brothers and sisters, we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to bless us in this great meeting, and I appreciate to come and to share your time. We are making history. All the job that the parent did is for the children, and the children are the generation of the future, inshallah Azza wa Jalla. If we take care of them and we give them a strong foundation, we will have reward with them in this life and next life. And this is very important. This is why I choose always to do this presentation. As we see here, this learning the art of positive parenting, Islamic perspective. It's an art. We can learn it. Because some parents sometimes they say, no, I am like that. No, I can learn. And we are the Ummah, the nation of Iqra. The first verse that Allah Ta'ala revealed to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it's Surah Iqra. Read. We can read everything, not only the Quran. We read the Quran, we read the technology, everything that can help us, our Islam religion order us to read this. So this is what we will see, inshallah Ta'ala, in this. We have a video, I will see a short presentation, then we have a video that I get it from the Organization for Positive Parenting here in Manitoba. Inshallah Ta'ala, we will see. If we have time, we can see the whole video. If not, we'll see at least a part. And winter is wonderful, enjoy the snow. Right? Yes, we need to enjoy the snow. Because sometimes we are tired, we don't like it. The snow is also created from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala make this land Canada to have the snow. Our back home in Africa, in Arabic places, we have the rain a lot. For a reason that Allah Ta'ala want to do that. So enjoy the snow. If not us, at least our children. Our children will need their brothers and sisters to learn the culture of Canada. To not be stressed when the snow comes like us. Because it's normal for us. We didn't grow up here. But our children, we need to encourage them to learn all the exercises and to be like the other Canadian children. To not feel depressed when the winter comes. And I will, inshallah Ta'ala, go fast because we don't have time. Normally this training it needs 1 day, but we don't have time for that. I summarize it, I make it like this 2 hours. I will go fast. So this is explain here what I have, etc. And my goal from this training is to help parents enjoy parenting. We don't stress and raise positive children. The goal for this training to raise your children, we don't be stressed and to be happy, and in the same time the children to grow up happy and to respect their parents. So this is our goal. Alhamdulillah, Alhijra Islamic School, we are teaching the children here. All the Islamic teachers, alhamdulillah, all of the Canadian teachers also, we give them many values, the khutbah of Jumu'ah, prayer, don't worry about your children. So now we are speaking with you as a parent, to need us to cooperate with us, to help us, and we help each other for the kids who are here. Alhijra Islamic School to be, inshallah Ta'ala, a positive people, positive members in the community in Winnipeg, inshallah Azza wa Jalla. This is her. This is my father and my mother. May Allah bless them. I lost my mom when I was 10 years. My father passed away in 2001. This is in 1965, this picture. And me, I am here, this one. I was 2 years in this day. You see, this is my elder brother. We ask Allah Ta'ala. This is when I was teenager, grade 8, grade 9. And this is here, as I said, I practice my Islamic religion, I respect my Canadian law. Yes, I am a Muslim, I take care of my culture, my religion, but instead I am in Canada now. I must practice the law. I should not violate the law. This is what we have this positive parenting, because some parents, some families, they have problems. They don't want to practice the law, then they have trouble. They have trouble, sometimes they take the children from them, so there are many problems. But because we need to respect the law of the brothers and sisters and our religion over us, if we give a word to promise, we need to keep our word. Because when we come here to Canada, like we signed to practice the law and to respect it. And also here, as you see, I applied course in 2010, I studied at Alhijra College in Icon. This is where I started this career there of counseling. This is here the positive training parenting that I gave me the license to deliver the positive parenting for parents. And this one here, see, this is Quebec, December 29, 31, 2000 positive parenting. You know the mosque that happened this other attack? This terrorism in Quebec, I was there in this mosque. This is the mosque. I passed within 3 days, 29, 30, 31. I delivered a training for them. They were very nice people. Against domestic violence, they paid the ticket for me and they called me to go to them. They are against domestic violence, against everything. I was there, I delivered for them this presentation, same thing. May Allah Ta'ala bless the people who pass away and take care of them. And also held still in Quebec. This is also in Quebec in 2014. Just I am showing you some places. Here, this is it was in the Dawah Center. I deliver also this positive parenting sometimes. This one here in my place, the city where I live in Morocco. I went in summer. That also I share with them the culture that I learned from Canada. Yes, you are Muslim, good, alhamdulillah, mu'min, mashallah, but these Canadian people, they have also good things to give. This is what I learned. I share with them this experience. This is what we will see, inshallah ta'ala, later. This one because we are just a few people. Normally, when I have like more than 50 people or 60, we do the participant commitment to commit to send a paper, all the stories that you will hear here to not share them outside, to respect each other. We can't do that now because just a few people. And we will start now from this one. What do you do to take care of yourself? Share. You are number one. See this guy now. Rather to take care of her head, his son, he is taking care of watermelon. Now what are the priority is you. You. Because now, when he will arrive to home, maybe he will arrive sick. He can't enjoy this one, right? So this is what in the family, the father or the mother, you are number one. You need to take care of yourself. Why? Because when you take care of yourself, you can help other people. Look, when we were at the airplane, what they told us at the beginning, they announced the announcement. They say, if something happens, what you need to do? They say, take care of yourself. Even they say, if your kid, don't help your kid. They say, help yourself first, then after help the other people. Because if you don't have something, you cannot give it. So in the family, number one is you, take care of yourself. So now the first exercise, it will be 5 minutes for you. You will share between you, each group, how do you do to take care of yourself? Share this between you. This is 5 minutes, we will have this activity. Can you help me, Sister Sarah, please? And in same time, I will give you this for each group, 3 or 4, to write here in this paper, what means positive parenting for you. Thank you very much. Each 3 give them one, please, and we will share. Here is the pen here, discuss with you what you do to take care of yourself. This is for me. And everyone was me positive parenting. Just short word. You have 5 minutes for this exercise. Thank you too, Sarah and Mohammed. Your opinion, you can take part. Yes, I can do it. Say it. Sorry? Yeah. But the other one, I have a perfect way of explaining. I will speak later on. This is exercise too. So share your experience. What do you do to take care of yourself? And now I intend to know each other. Okay, we will start inshallah because we don't have time. This is not, if we have time, normally I give in this like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to know each other, to discuss, to give your opinion, to share. Okay, we will continue now. For myself, this is how I take care of myself. I pray, prayer and the dua. This is the first thing. Because you need to ask Allah Ta'ala to help, to support. Second thing, I like to plant in my garden. This is my backyard. I like watermelon too. Taking care of myself, by taking care of others. When I help others, I reward. Same thing. It returns to me this feedback. Same thing, sport. You need to exercise. So I go fast here. Tennis, cycling, go-karts, like horses. I love horses, riding horses. There are many things you can do to take care of yourself, okay? Because when you are taking care of yourself, then you'll be able to help your kids who are not alone. But if you cannot take care of yourself, you need someone to help you. So the first thing is very important, my brothers and sisters, take care of yourself. If you can walk just 10 minutes, 15 minutes walk. If you are taking the bus, go to the second station, go walk in. Take care of yourself. Each one he can choose, she can choose how to take care. So the first thing now, spouses relationship first, and always remember that the tree comes before the fruit. So I spoke about the first thing, take care of yourself as individual. Second thing, the tree. What is the tree? Spouses, the husband and the wife. The problem that happens sometimes, spouses, they start to fight about the fruit. They forget the tree that gives this fruit. We ask Allah Ta'ala to protect our children, yes. But if in the tree, if the fruit fall down, no problem. You can have no other fruit. We ask Allah to protect. But if we cut the tree, we destroy everything. So the second thing with the brother is very important. Spouses relationship. Take care of your husband. The wife, take care of your husband. Respect him. Same thing for the husband. Take care of your wife. Respect her. This wife that lived in her family, everything, and come to live with you. So something doesn't have any price. And vice versa. We need to take care of each other. Love is the key for a happy family. If the family doesn't have this love, and Allah Ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِمَاذَا؟ لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Allah Ta'ala created among your mate. Why? In order to have mercy and love with you and to respect each other. This is the reason of marriage. Take care of, this is one of kind of take care of each other. Look at this wife. This is just example how he is cutting to her husband. Simply look at the husband, how he is giving his wife how to drink. So this is the marriage in Islam, my dear brothers and sisters. Is based, the foundation is love and mercy and respecting each other. And also, we cannot force someone to love us, but we can work to earn this love. I can't force, I will speak about kids. I can't force my boy to love me, or my daughter, or my wife, no. But I can work for that. Yet if I want to work, I can work to earn this love, to make him love me, or to make her to love me. And we need to cooperate to help each other. There is another thing as well. I choose something important that we need to know. Express yourself and manage anger positively. Things that something, it happens, some problems, some issues, because we are human beings, we are not angel, perfect 100%. We do mistakes. Sometimes we are angry. It's normal. Someone if say, I can't have anger, this is like a machine mechanic or something. But as a human being, yes, you will be angry. Then what is the solution? You need to learn how to manage this anger positively. This is the way. How to manage it. How to have conversation, communication, to listen to each other. And vice versa. Here, as we say, the first stay calm. Second, tell how you feel. Sometimes you don't know how I feel. If, example, I am asked with my wife, I go outside to speak with my friend, or maybe I call my brother, but in order to express myself to my wife, honey, or what should anyway, or by her name, sorry, you see so and so to me, it hurt me in the heart. I am sure she will accept it, and maybe she will cry, and she will tell you, forgive me, and we need to express ourselves. We didn't grow in our back home to express ourselves when we are small. Shh. Keep it. No, to be honest, we were to pray our parents, may Allah Ta'ala bless them, you shh. You return, do not cry. It doesn't make any sense. Allah Ta'ala creates us to laugh and to cry. If I am sad, I need to cry. So we need to express ourselves and to explain your anger. Ask Allah Ta'ala to accept our prayer. Normally I have two videos. Video it have 46 minutes. It's very important. Maybe inshallah Ta'ala will leave it for another occasion. I will make another one just 15 minutes, then after we can have question discussion to you. This one is very important because inshallah Ta'ala have the opportunity to do it another friend. But this one is from Manitoba. This one is from Child Aid Foundation here. It's very important. I need you to see the video, then after we can inshallah Ta'ala.
Immigration and settlement to a new country like Canada requires many life changes. Learning a new language, finding a house, finding a school for your children, and being away from family and friends and familiar cultural surroundings are just a few of the challenges that new Canadians face. The Child and Family Services system recognizes that new Canadians have a great deal of wisdom, valuable experience, and expertise in many areas of life, including raising children and parenting. We also recognize that it takes time for new Canadians to adapt and learn about the new rules regarding parenting in Manitoba. In this video, we will provide information to new Canadians that we hope will help to explain some of the parenting laws in Manitoba. These parenting practices may be different from those that you followed in your home country and are important to share with you. We hope that this video will help you to understand the goals of the Child and Family Services system and the services provided. The scene that you will see in this video is a family situation between a mother and a teenager, and is a situation that many Canadian families experience, not just new Canadian families. The people you will see in the video are actors, and the situation depicted is fictional.
It's 10 p.m.
Told you I was going to a friend's house after school.
Who's your friend? What is his name? Did I tell you to come home right after school? We're supposed to go to the bank.
You don't care if I have any friends? You don't care if I'm at school all day, nobody talks to me? I feel like such a loser, you don't understand.
Don't you remember how hard it is to get here and how long
not this again.
Don't you never listen to me. Don't you walk away from me.
Canadian woods, an army of lumberjacks shoot the dangerous rapids of the Saint Maurice on their way to start the greatest wave in history.
Don't you never listen to me. Don't you walk away from me.
I have to make the call. If that boy is being hurt by his mother and I don't do anything about it, then I am as much to blame. I have a responsibility to him to do the right thing. It is the law. Hello? I would like to report an argument that I heard last night between my neighbor and her teenage son. They've been fighting like this for weeks. Well, there was a lot of yelling, and then I heard a thump in the wall and some crying. Well, afterwards,
Hello, how can I help you?
Mrs. Muhammad?
Yes.
I'm Lisa Cruz from Child and Family Services. I was wondering if I could come in and have a few minutes of your time.
And what is this all about?
We received a report about your son and some arguments that have been happening between the two of you. I'd like to talk to you about it more, and hopefully we can find a way to help your family.
Really? This is between me and my son. And why this is anything of your business?
I need to make sure that your son is okay. I'd like to come in and talk to you about what happened.
And who called you?
I'm sorry, but I can't provide you with that information. It's confidential.
Okay, come in.
As a Child and Family Services social worker, I get many questions about what I do and the system I work for. Child and Family Services organizations have two important goals: to keep children safe and to support youth, children, and families. Social workers and other staff want to help all Manitoban families. Child and Family Services offer many services for children and their families. Some of these include family support workers who provide families with a break and/or with other things like parenting and budgeting. Emergency support such as food and housing services. Counseling and parent education. Services for parents under 18 years of age. As well, Child and Family Services can help families locate support programs and services in their community. For some parents, understanding the Child and Family Service system can be scary because of the things they may have heard the system does. For example, many parents fear that their children will be taken away. This does happen sometimes when we can't keep children safe with their parents. The Child and Family Services system's first concern, based on Manitoba law, is to ensure that children are safe. However, it is important for parents to know that Child and Family Services, whenever possible, tries very hard to help parents to find ways to keep their children safe and supported at home. There are a number of ways that we can do this. We realize that parents love their children and want to be good parents. And to help with this, Child and Family Services also works with families on developing support plans that will best meet the needs of their children and family. We encourage families to call Child and Family Services if they need support to care for their children. So the reason I'm here is because we received a call about an argument between you and your son.
Why? What did I do wrong? You know, it's very hard coming from another country and not knowing English very well. I didn't do anything wrong.
I can hear you're getting upset. It must be very difficult getting used to a new place and raising a teenager all on your own, especially when you're learning English. Can you tell me what happened last night? Why did you and your son get into a fight?
My son didn't come home until very late, and I rely on him for everything. Banking, shopping, for everything. I'm worried he will involve with the gangs, and I'm not a bad mother. He just doesn't listen.
I don't think you're a bad mother. Every family has their struggles, and it's even more challenging when you may not know the laws and parenting rules of what you can and can't do in Canada. I completely understand that you may not know these rules. It must be extremely worrying for you.
No one told me about the rules, and I don't want to get into trouble.
Well, we can talk a little bit more about that. One of the rules that you need to know is that parents aren't allowed to hurt their children, even when they're frustrated and angry. That's against the law in Canada. It's our job to work with you to make sure that your child is safe. We received a call about some worries about what's going on between you and your son, and we just want to make sure that everything is okay. I can tell that you love your son and that you want what's best for him.
I do. I love him. But every time when we want to talk, it always ends up in a fight.
Can you think of a time when you were able to talk to your son about your worries and not get into a fight?
Yeah, there have been times.
What was different about that time, and do you think you could do it again?
Yes, it's easier for me to talk to him when I'm not angry, and I'm willing to do something different so we don't fight.
Parents want to know, what happens when Child and Family Services receives a report about my child? It's important to understand that according to the laws in Manitoba, Child and Family Services is required to follow up on all reports regarding child safety. These reports can come from various sources, including schools, nurses and doctors, the community, and from families themselves. A child's safety and well-being is everyone's responsibility, and all Manitoba residents are required to report a child who may be in need of protection. This information is kept private and confidential. In the family scene you saw, a concern was expressed by a neighbor about a conflict between a mother and her teenage son. There are many other reasons that a concern may be reported, such as a child not attending school, a child who has serious medical needs, a child who's beyond the control of the parents, or a child who is under the age of 18 and pregnant. In other cases, reports can include concerns of physical abuse. When a parent or caregiver physically hurts a child, this can be shaking, punching, or striking a child. Sexual abuse. This is any sexual contact that happens between a child and an adult, or a child and a much older child. Neglect. When a child does not receive enough food, clothing, shelter, or medical care. Neglect can include leaving children under the age of 12 alone at home or in a car. Emotional abuse. When parents hurt their children with excessive and frequent yelling, name-calling, blaming, humiliation, and by withholding affection and privileges for a long period of time. When a social worker receives a report that a child and family is asking for or is needing help, they work together with families to come up with the best solution and try to keep disruption of family life to a minimum. Child and Family Services will gather more information about your family. Your social worker may refer to this as an assessment. When gathering information, a social worker will talk to you as parents and may come to your home to do this. Will see your child, may talk to people who know your child, such as teachers, counselors, relatives, and doctors, may look at school reports, assessments, or other related paperwork. The social worker has a responsibility to keep families informed about the process and to include families in the planning. If during your involvement with Child and Family Services, you feel the social worker has not kept you informed, or you are concerned about the services you are receiving, you have the right to ask why and express your concern. You may want to involve someone you trust in this process, like a community leader, a settlement worker, or a lawyer. It's important to understand that most investigations do not result in children being taken away or removed. Removal, sometimes called apprehension, only occurs when a child is in immediate danger and there is no other way to keep the child safe. Whenever possible, Child and Family Services places children with a relative or a community member. When a child is removed, parents will receive a notice to attend a family court hearing. A judge will hear evidence from parents and social workers and make the final decision whether a child remains in care. If a child does have to be removed, Child and Family Services works very hard to return the child to his home as soon as possible and to help parents maintain contact with their children by arranging visits. It's important to listen to our children's feelings and to share with them our point of view. I'd like to talk to you more about this in a little while and come up with some ideas of how we can keep things more peaceful between you and your son.
I like that. And I don't like getting fight with my son. And I don't want you to take my son away.
We can work together to stop the fighting and come up with a plan. I'd like to get together with you and your son so we can work this out. I can also help you find parenting groups in your neighborhood if you like. These groups share parenting experiences and could be a great support for you.
That would be good, thank you.
Thank you very much for taking the time to meet with me. I know we've talked about some difficult things, and I thank you for sharing. What I've heard you say is that it's hard learning a new culture, a new language, and raising a teenage son all on your own.
It has been hard. You know, I moved here for my son, so we could have a better life and to be safe. I didn't know it's going to be this hard.
I completely understand. My parents felt the very same way when they came over from the Philippines in the 70s. In this video, we showed you a family situation where a call to Child and Family Services resulted in a social worker helping a family find ways to get along better together. We encourage all parents to call Child and Family Services to get help with parenting if needed. We hope this video has helped you learn more about Child and Family Services, Manitoba laws, and parenting in Manitoba. Remember, it's okay if you have more questions. We've included some additional information at the end of this video, including some numbers to call on where to get parenting information and community supports. You can also contact your Child and Family Services agency in your neighborhood as well for more information. The making of the video was a collaborative effort that would not have happened without the assistance and energy of
I hope you benefit from this video. And as you said, you saw, maybe we are lucky our neighbors, our relatives, our friends, they don't come, but the other Canadians, they respect to them. If they tell you, if you hear the noise, you can come, as the situation. To prevent all this stuff, my brothers and sisters, treat your children gently. Not to ask from the law, we need to respect the law, but we follow our religion. Our example always, as I said, Prophet Muhammad said, never bite or hit a child, never hit a woman. We follow his sunnah, and we will be okay. And as she says, Allah's sentence, she says, try to listen to the feeling of your children. Give your children opportunity to express, especially teenagers like he is, because it's very hard phase they are passing. They have many changes. They need someone to listen to them, to help them to resolve their problems. And alhamdulillah, our Muslim youths, they are good. They don't abuse drugs, a lot of stuff. But we need to listen to them, to give them the opportunity to express and to listen to them. So my brothers and sisters, at rest this half hour, because our program starts from 5 to 7. I will give you also each group, it has a relation what we saw. And to discuss these cases, what we need to do if your child has these. Anyway, I will give each group one and you can discuss it between you. All these cases that I give you, it happens to the teenagers now. Some they smoke, some they abuse drugs, so it could happen. So to prevent, if it happens, what we can do, this is what I give you.
So how to prevent this from happening?
Yes, this is what we need to discuss.
We have to work ahead of time.
Yeah, this is I told you this training, it will one day from 9 to 5. And we do case study and they can make results themselves, they share.
That's why we have our kids in Islamic school. That's why we want to work.
Yeah.
School, home, the community.
Yes, and you are like this Islamic school, it's complex. But there are a lot of people who their children in other places. They don't find who tell you need to respect Arab, they are the door of paradise.
This is the same message that they keep training people. Kids, they spend 6-7 hours at the school. That's a big time. So having them in public school.
You will treat they make our children. So this is for this group. Discuss this case, please. What you have. Okay, brothers and sisters, inshallah ta'ala, the rest is 20 minutes. Well, it's open if there is any question or someone want to add something, but these cases that I share with you, the common point, don't use violence. To resolve these problems, don't hit your child. Because this is against good law and against the teaching of Islam. Because violence always leads to violence. As our sister in a case study, for example, if they have a daughter has 20 years, then his father forced her to marry someone back home. It's haram to do that. This case for the marriage. There are many people they do that in order to bring his cousin from back home to have people, Canadian people. He forced his daughter to marry. It's haram. Don't do that. Don't force her. Yes, I can give her guidelines to tell her, if you are looking for marriage to have someone who Muslim or good, give her, then let her to choose for herself, to take responsibility. But if I force her to marry someone, anything happen to him, she will blame me at the future. Something for smoking, the case of the child who start to smoke. First, the father should be a good example at the house. To be a role model at the house. Doesn't make sense if a father smoke until the son don't smoke. Here, the kid, he take two different messages. Verbal message and message by action, that contradiction. I should be a good role model at the house first, then to be gentle with him with communication, to show him some videos that make people have cancer. If they smoke, there are many organizations in America that they help people to quit, to not step by step. There are many solutions. Anyway, this is the case. So yes, open for you. If you have any question or if you want to add something, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, I think our meeting here today, how to get benefit from this lecture. So I was talking to my brothers, what's the strategy that we have to use to raise our kids? I think this is very important. If anyone have a strategy or have an opinion you want to share. From my side, I think it's a big conflict all over the place. Maybe we are a little bit lucky that we have our kids in Islamic school, but still we have to work too hard. We know the Canadian law, as he mentioned, we should be aware of the Canadian law because this is a big trap. A lot of people have been themselves in that trap. But at the same time, personally, I've tried to explain for my kids, whatever the cause, I know the Canadian law, don't use that against me. Don't twist my arm. Don't think I'm taking it something that will make me not raising you the way it should be. As a Muslim, I think this is the manual for ourselves. We have to work too hard to explain for our kids, we want you to enjoy the life, but should be in a halal way. You can enjoy the life to the extent that you can't imagine, as long as you fear Allah and want to make it in halal way. Brother Abdus gave us a scenario that 14 and 15 years old. Personally, I know this is a big problem. A lot of Muslims, they have their kids, maybe they are involved or maybe they will be in this situation. But we encourage our kids, don't go farther. This is not the right time. And maybe if you want to enjoy, you can make it in halal way through the marriage. If you can be good enough to get married. I know the Canadian law, it's not allowed to have 14 and 15 to get married, but they can allow them to have relations, even they have a kids. And this is a big problem. It looks funny for me to be all the time. They allow them to have a relationship and to have kids, but they are not allowed them to get married. Looks funny. This is the Canadian law, but we live in this country. I think we have to do our best to raise our kids in Islam way, not in in strict Islam way. We have to make some balance, but not to the point that they will take the advantage of us because of the Canadian law, so and so. And this is my opinion. I'm not sure if they're able to give it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Does anybody want to add something? Also, this is Alhijra, my brothers and sisters. Share love with your children. When they are small, if you give them love, they will listen to you when they grow up. And it's my experience. If they love you when they are small, they will respect you, they will listen to you. And if I can have this relationship with my child when he will be a teenager to communicate with me, this is very important. To come to me, to tell me I feel so and so, I do so and so, but it's very important. Because there are some parents, they don't want to give them even this room to express. It's very important. And the last thing, don't use violence as we see in the video, my brothers. There are many from they are small, alhamdulillah, we have Islamic school, but we need to do our work also, to not push them to go to these ways. Jazakumullahu khairan. And we ask Allah Ta'ala to
Make dua.
Jazakumullahu khairan for your time. Thank you very much.
Help yourself.
Help yourself, please. Don't leave this.